Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As you can see by the title of today's video, here to show you everything you need to know as a stretch big before you make your build in NBA 2K25. So shout out to 2K for the early access content to be allowed to do this. It's part of the early access tip-off. I really do appreciate the fact that they're letting me get this information to you guys so early. So with this, I want to show you everything you need to know as a stretch big before you make your build. So main things that we're going to talk about. I got bullet points. I'm going to just tell them to you guys straight out the gate from here. We got takeovers that you need to achieve. We've talked about that in a previous video. You need 75 three-pointer, very on the dot for some very good takeovers that you need to know as a stretch big. We got all the animations and stuff like that between your dribble style that you want to shoot for as a stretch big if you're trying to kind of sauce up a little bit, or even if you just are someone with 40 speed with ball, with like something decent for you to run. And then even if you care about layups, we also have that too, but that's a kind of a given that you probably don't for that matter. And then a couple builds to choose from. Between these 6'11s right here, we have a 7'1 popper as well. So let's start off the takeover that you need to be able to achieve. Glass Gunner, really good one in my opinion. We're gonna have two different things about a build, like both these builds I'm showing you guys, that need slight modifications in terms of being able to get this, whether it's the kind of more frail stretch big that's more like KD-esque, if you will, that needs a little bit more rebounding, or the super big like meta pro-am center build that we needed to get 75 three-pointer instead of 74. So that was a big difference that you need to be able to change, because this is a really good takeover. I've already recommended it in the other video as well. Glass Gunner, 3-point O board and D board are all going to get boosted by 8 when you're at level 5. That is huge. And you just get marksman, the ability to just shoot better wide open as well, or just stand still shooting for that matter. It doesn't even have to be wide open obviously, but anyway, the takeover, well worth noting that you need to be able to get. So let's go ahead and show you those two builds real quick as far as the modifications that you would need to put on them. Alright, so for instance, we already showcased this build on the channel, but this originally had max wingspan 710 and it only had 74 three-pointer. So when you go one tick down on the wingspan, you're not only going to allow yourself, better jump shot animations and stuff like that for just having a higher maximum, aka that mid-range, but on top of that too, the 75 three-pointer, as we mentioned, very important in terms of getting the best takeover possible. And the thing with takeover this year is that it's passive as well, so you even get those boosts along the way as you're heating up throughout the course of the game. So you're boosting your three-pointer and rebound ratings throughout the course of the game, which is very important. Those are some really good ratings to be buffing. Now, moving along, I want to show you the original version and the revamped version of this build right here, the frail stretch big, the KD style stretch, if you will. So this build right here, it's got elite mid-range scoring between the post-fade phenom, the 94 mid-range. It's even got enough speed with ball for lightning launch. It's got enough agility for shifty shooter on gold as well. 79 speed, 80 rebound to still get the pogo stick and rebound chaser on silver, and then bronze as well. Enough strength to have like strong handle and brick wall, and then box out beast on silver. I mean, it's honestly a really great build, but as we mentioned, it doesn't have enough rebounding to be able to get Glass Gunner. So as we've been on the topic of takeover, I want to let you guys know I think this build right here is actually better than the revamped version in my opinion. But if you really wanted that takeover, I want to at least give you that kind of, just visual on how you'd have to change the build. So that was that version right there. If you want to look at a revamped version that has more defensive rebound, aka more weight on it, as you can see, this one has the 85 D board. It's got enough for gold box out beast, because that's what you also get naturally with the 85 D board. And then pair that with still great perimeter defense, good ball handle. Speed with ball is going to be good enough. You'll hear about that plenty. I'll have enough to tell you about between the 65 speed with ball and even less than that. 60 is the requirement for the Zion dribble style package that I'm going to be showcasing to you. But anyway, it still keeps the post control, the mid-range, all that. The downside is, however, the speed with ball is not high enough for lightning launch, and then the agility isn't high enough for gold shifty shooter. So if you care about lightning launch, if you really want shifty shooter, Glass Gunner may not be worth as a takeover just in comparison to everything you're going to lose in terms of the more shiftiness of the build, if you will. So again, just wanted to at least bring that to you as a potential option of something for you to weigh back and forth. Is the takeover more important, or are the badges a little bit more important? And granted, you still get box out beast a whole level higher on this too. So that's still a badge that's also being included in terms of changing. It's just this one's for the better. Obviously though, we lack the vertical a little bit more on this. The block is a little bit lower, so the high flying denier is lower. And as we already mentioned, losing out on the lightning launch and the shifty shooter levels as well. So anyway, let's go to the next phase of the video. Okay, so I originally wasn't going to put this part in the video, but I really do want to detail this for you guys. So something that I really wanted to make note of in a previous video was to show you all the things you'd be able to do with your max plus ones with these builds. And a lot of like the smaller builds, aka the point guards and the point forwards and stuff like that, they didn't benefit off these very much. However, as a stretch big, let me tell you how much you benefit off of this. As we just mentioned to you, Shifty Shooter is a badge you can already get on gold if you're going to go with that lightweight version of the stretch that I showed you. So you'd be able to get that as a tier 2 to be able to max plus one that and get it to Hall of Fame for that matter. And then you'd even still be able to buff one of your set shot specialist, Deadeye, or Limitless in the tier 1. So the way that these max plus ones work is essentially you get one that you can buff in the tier 1 and then one that you can buff in the tier 2. The problem with a lot of these shorter builds, if you will, they get nothing cool in tier 2. It's just things that every build gets, like Dimer and Layup Mixmaster and stuff like that. Whereas for these taller builds, as you can see, for like the slasher type ones, you can get Rebound Chaser and Rise Up in the tier 1. I should say, or Rise Up in the tier 1. And then combine that with also being able to get like Challenger and Poster. For the 7-footers and stuff like that, or 6'11s I should mention, we already talked about the Shifty Shooter paired with one of these kind of standstill shot buffers, if you will. But then with the 7-1, you get Limitless as a tier 2 ability, and then you could either run Deadeye or Set Shot Specialist as a tier 1. That is some fire stuff right there. So for the 7-1 stretches or the 6'11 stretches, this is something you could definitely stay on the lookout for. So they obviously have to be earned through the season XP and reaching certain like threshold points of that, but definitely want to keep you on the lookout for that. Also, in case you guys didn't know, I'm pairing with NBA 2K Labs again this year. So you can use my code Laker at checkout for 20% off of any subscription link that you decide to go for. Obviously, what you're going to find on here is going to be really useful information that we're showing all across the whole screen right now, but mainly to be talked about is obviously the jump shot data. So the guys are cool enough to let me show you the information from the 2K24 premium jumper data. If you want the access to the 25 year, you'd obviously have to subscribe to their premium and, you know, using my code as well if you would like. But as you can see, like we have them sorted by speed right here. You can sort by every one of these different individual categories right here between the fastest millisecond jump shots. You can sort that by your individual height between the guards, wings, and bigs. You can sort by speed, green window, the early, middle, and late end of the green window as well, and then the total accumulation of all of that. And I mean, that's how I came to the conclusion that Terrence Mann was a really good base last year, combining all that information. Crazy stuff. So again, to be able to find something like this in 25, you would be able to just sign up for the premium. So what you're going to do when you're ready to sign up, you would just come over here and click register with whatever length of subscription you'd like to go for. After you hit register, it'll ask you to put in a promo code. You just put in Laker when you hit apply coupon right here, and boom, you're looking good. With code Laker, you're going to get 20% off your subscription. If you guys would like to help me out, I get a percentage based off your initial purchase only. So a recurring bill, like if you get a 1-month subscription, I only get the 1 month that you sign up for initially, and then anything past that I don't. So if you do plan to go for like a 3 or a 6 or even a year-long subscription, feel free to just, you know, do that if you want to support me. But I understand not everybody wants to go for that, so it's all good if you don't. Anyway, appreciate you guys for watching. Let's get back to the video. Alright, so another point to be made right here with the stretch bigs is that with every single shot type right here, like the go-to shots and the dribble pull-ups and stuff like that, I'm gonna just scroll through these, but like you don't have to see them all, but they all require a certain shot rating like for a requirement. So you're not just being able to get every single dribble pull-up that you want, even if it's in your height range. Obviously, you can't get stuff like Curry that is like restricted to, you know, certain heights and stuff like that. But if you wanted like KD, for instance, you're going to have to achieve those ratings. And honestly, for that matter, I did actually scroll over Kevin Durant for the hop jumper. It's actually one of the more kind of rating required things right here. Like you can see, you either need an 87 mid-range or an 87 three-pointer to be able to get it. So these are things that you need to stay on the lookout for. Obviously, you can see you can get this though as a stretch big. You have to be at least 6'5", but anything above that can get the KD hop jumper animation as an example. And there's gonna be a lot of examples that are like that for that matter. Alright, so lastly, I did a lot of tests and stuff like that. You can see I didn't get the full names off because I accidentally used, you know, Giannis for this. So we got like Banch, we got Simo, we got Sabone, because obviously I couldn't get Randall, Sabonis, Simmons, and Banchero's full name on here. But anyway, examples I wanted to show you. So like Jokic, for instance, really good floater animation. If you wanted to be a stretch big that even still has some layup game implemented into it, this is a really good animation that you're going to get that consistent animation to pop off a lot of times. Or what I also wanted to more so show you is the Zion dribble style. So this is 60 speed with ball requirement, and it can really move, honestly, bro. All you got to do is just do a dribble move first and then run to your offhand. Anything else to do with it, it's not the greatest in terms of speed boosting. Like you can see sprinting out of it, not super crazy. Sprinting to the offhand, also not super crazy or anything like that. It's not terrible for that matter. But to get the best speed boost animation possible, you want to flick your stick and do any dribble move and then just run to your offhand. It is actually like super quick in my opinion. Boom, you can just like burst out of it. I'd like to think this could set you up for really good sideways movement as a stretch big to kind of just ISO in that mid-range. Or there also is the normal dribble style as well. Ironically, I think I got rid of it for somebody. All right, so added it to the list right here, normal. So with this one, it's also the same deal. If you do a dribble move first, then run to your offhand, it's the same as it was last year. And I'd like to think this normal dribble style is pretty good in my opinion. If you don't do a dribble move first, it's still decent. Like, it can still sprint okay to the offhand. It can sprint to the ball hand actually pretty good for that matter. So like right there, I'd like to think that's a decent animation considering all you need is 40 speed with ball to even be able to get it. So again, I'd like to think the best way to use this is to just do a dribble move first, then run to the offhand. Because I think that sets up for some pretty good movement, whether you want it to be downhill or sideways. Here, we'll set up more like stretch big movement wise. Like you can see, that would actually set you up pretty good in my opinion to be able to run sideways. So I'm not here to acknowledge that it'd be the best animation possible. I still think Zion would be a lot better, but if you have a really low speed with ball, normal could get the job done for you. So anyway, that is all for the video. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new to noties, all good stuff. Like always, try to 1 to 3,000 likes. And if you made it to the end of the video, put stretch or put shot in the comments towards me all the way through. But anyway, I appreciate y'all watching this. Obviously, I'm here to look out for you and your builds. I'll probably try and put out the slasher one for this format of video, like things you need to know before making your slasher build as soon as I can tomorrow morning. I got to deal with, like, you know, allowing Handles, my thumbnail guy, some time to actually, you know, get some time off a little bit. I've been working him like crazy, bro. But thankfully he's been able to keep up, and we've been having a crazy pace here with this uploading pace. So we're gonna scale it back a little bit now that release actually is here. I'll probably go back to 1 video a day. Tomorrow might still not really fit into that mold. I'll probably do like 3 videos or something like that, but after that we'll probably go back to 1 video a day. And I'm excited for just how this year's gonna play out for that matter. So anyway, I appreciate y'all for watching. I hope this helped you, and if it did, like I said, feel free to drop a like. But anyway, that's all for the video. Hope y'all enjoyed. Other than that, take it easy, man. Peace.